everyone, my name's Bettina and I'm from the Philippines. And first of all, I'd like to thank DW Jackson and all of the J vloggers, namely Rachel and June, Victor, Shane, and Regan. Thank you guys so much for giving us this opportunity to be able to win a free trip to Japan. I actually first heard of this contest from Rachel and June's channel, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out that someone would give away something this big just for advertising his work. And I guess it's also a way for us who made the videos to put ourselves out there as well. And anyway, when I was thinking up ideas on what I could do for this video, I had the idea in mind that how could I convince someone who wasn't that avid reader or who isn't even familiar with independent writers such as D.W. Jackson to go and check out his work. So with that in mind, I came up with something really fun for you guys, and I hope even if I don't win, you at least enjoy this video I made for you, because I really enjoyed making it. So here's what I came up with. Thanks and enjoy!
May not look like it, but a lot of time and effort and research goes into making one single book. Will it be about magic or about action? Will it have romance? Like I said, they don't only sacrifice their time, but they also sacrifice their precious hours of sleep just to make sure that their manuscripts are ready to go and ready to be enjoyed by their readers. And sometimes even all of that isn't enough. When they get to the publisher and ask for their manuscript to be approved and published, sometimes they won't even get the okay signal and just get rejected flat out. And for you to put in that much effort and time just to be rejected, I think I can imagine how disappointing that must be. But when you think about it, all famous authors like Tolkien, Rowling, and George R.R. Martin all started from somewhere. All of them started out as independent authors, and they wouldn't be as successful as they are now if the people who supported them didn't give their support to them. And that's why I feel like a certain author or the work that they do, you should do your best to support them, because that will go a long way even if you don't know it. Once in a while, it's good to get out of your comfort zone and try out something new. Like trying to read a new book, the plot is interesting, the characters are developed nicely, which I will talk about later on another point. You even get to see how the characters grow through time, namely in this case, Mark. How he grows as a person, how he grows as his powers change, and how he grows from being confused to someone who's more confident, from someone who's unsure of who he is, to someone who's confident in what he can do and achieve. Instead of playing on your video games or watching television or doing things on your phone, why not try something new and read a book? Take a chance, you might surprise yourself. I can think of nothing better than curling up with a warm blanket and a good book with hot cocoa. Yes, it makes me feel badass, especially when you take it to the next level with adding peppermint to your hot cocoa, with a blanket fort with more blankets, and with picking out a good book that will make you interested for hours. I personally love my me time, and for me, my me time turns into my glee time, especially when I do all those. Get a warm blanket, make some hot cocoa, and just forget about the school. But I'm just kidding, you have to get back to it sooner or later. All in moderation, and I assure you, you'll be more happy than ever. D.W. Jackson's books go for about $4 a book on Amazon, which I will put the link to later in the video. The story is about Mark, a young mage who's growing into his powers and coming of age. It's a story about growing into his powers and adjusting to them and growing with them. It's also a story that's kind of a last of his kind of thing, where he has to develop his powers at an early age and mature into them so he can go from somebody who's doubting himself to somebody who's confident in the gift that he has. When I first heard about it, it strongly reminded me of the novels I used to read, like the Harry Potter books or the Arthurian legends with Arthur and Merlin. And it also reminded me of the Aragon series. I really love this genre of magic and adventure going together with the coming of age theme, and I think it works really well, especially for this kind of stories. And lastly, even though it's a known fact that books are good for you, here are a few points that books can do for you specifically. I'll put a link in the description box below where I found all these information from.